I appreciate your quest to learn and your commitment. I'm sorry, just give me a little time. I think I've forgotten something. Good afternoon, boys and girls. I didn't hear anyone. Good afternoon, boys and girls. 34 years in the army, I was used to saying, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. But when I entered the civil, colorful, wonderful world of yours, I stopped saying ladies and gentlemen, and I started saying boys and girls. You know why? Anyone tell me, why do I say that? Anyone? It is for my benefit. I feel younger that way. It's not for you. I want to ask you, how many of you in this audience object to being called a boy or a girl? Please raise hands. Good. I've asked this question to more than 40,000 people in the last 10 years, and I'm yet to come across somebody who objected to being a boy or a girl. So therefore, till 5 o'clock today, please maintain your status of being a boy or a girl. After 5 o'clock, you can change your status if you so like. What do you think I went back to collect? What did I forget? Can somebody tell me? I forgot to bring my passion. You saw in the beginning when I came, there was no passion. Passion is a very strong desire. It is an intense emotion. It is a compulsive enthusiasm, and it is a burning desire to do something. Very simply put, passion is something that you love doing, something that you enjoy doing, something that gives you that intense joy and happiness. Whenever we use passion and do something from our heart, where there's a fire in the belly and you do something, you can do anything that people consider impossible. Tony Robbins, my mentor, says that if something doesn't move, it doesn't grow. And something that doesn't grow is dead. And many of us are dead before we go to the grave. We live, we don't live. We exist like dead bodies. So therefore, I would today be spending some time in telling this audience, how can we bring passion into our lives, and if we add that little thing called energy, you can achieve anything in this world. Nothing can stop you. Some of you will remember Shah Rukh Khan's famous dialogue, अगर कोई चीज अपने दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने में लग जाती है. The entire universe drives it for you. I'll tell you a story here. In 1986, I was doing a workshop in Delhi, and there was a gentleman called Kichu, the instructor. I have not come across any better instructor than him since 86. He told us a story, and I'll quote him. He said that he was very, very passionate, very enthusiastic, very keen to go and do a workshop in Thimphu. Thimphu is the capital of Bhutan, if some of you know. While he was in the aircraft and the aircraft started taxiing, there was a lady sitting next to him. She did this. So he looked at her. He said, what happened? She says, today is the 17th day that I'm going to Thimphu, and every day we've been coming back because of bad weather. We couldn't land there. Today, I hope we land. So he says, ma'am, today we will land. She said, how can you say that? Do you have some connection with the weather gods? He said, no. I have to be there for this workshop. This workshop has to happen. And I'm committed. And my audience is waiting there. I have to be there. She says, I am also equally committed. I am writing a book, a history book, and there's a chapter on Bhutan. 17 days I have not been able to land. He says, ma'am, I don't know about your passion, but I am certainly going to be landing there for sure. So this conversation carried on. It was a short flight, and before anything else happened, they were almost on top of the airfield at Bhutan, at Thimphu. So there comes an announcement from the cockpit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain from the flight deck. I'm sorry to say, though the weather at Thimphu is wonderful, beautiful daylight, sunlight, but there is a layer of clouds and I can't land. However, I'm going to make an attempt. I'm going to hover around for some time and see if some cloud movement takes place and there is some gap through which I can penetrate. So he did that. He went round and round 3-4 times and then he said, ladies and gentlemen, I regret we've not been able to find a way. I think we'll have to go back. So this lady looks at him. What happened? He said, ma'am, we'll land. She said, yes, we will land at Calcutta, not at Thimphu. He said, no, ma'am, we'll land at Thimphu. She said, are you mad? We are going back. He said, don't worry, we'll land. And there comes an announcement from the deck again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm moving back. I can see a hole in the clouds. Let me see if I can possibly penetrate. He turned back. There was a hole. He went through that hole and landed at Thimphu. When he landed at Thimphu, this lady looked at him and she said, wow, that was amazing. And then there was a pause and he says, ladies and gentlemen, for your information, I created the hole in the clouds. At that point of time, I did not understand this, but it impacted me. It impacted me as a story. And let me tell you today, boys and girls, for the last 34 years in the army and 10 years in the corporate world, I have created a lot of holes in this, on the clouds. And I have seen a lot of people doing it. And I can tell you, each one of you sitting here is capable of creating the holes in the clouds. If you, when you go to do a close quarter battle in the army, and you have to kill a man physically, then on your rifle there's a small little knife which is called a Bennett. Okay, and that Bennett is fixed. And if I was going to give you that rifle and tell you to push that into a dummy which is made of a gunny bag and some hay in it, most of you would not be able to get even half an inch of that blade into the dummy. But what do we do? How are we taught? We are taught like this, that you take that rifle like this, look at the enemy and say, hey, thumb up! And it goes through and through. That is what is passion. In the army we have a war cry. Bole so nihal, or Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj ki jai. What does it do? It gives you passion. It gives you energy. It primes you up to do a job. Boys and girls, in your life, if you can prime yourselves, if you can find your passion, and now what I want to tell you is, if you really want to enjoy your life, if you want to find fulfillment in your life, then it is important that we convert this passion into our profession. Tell me, how many hours in a cycle of 24 hours, how many hours do you sleep? Let me have a general opinion. 8 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours? 8 hours? Okay, can we write down 8 hours? Yeah? Okay, 7 hours, some people say. What we have 8 hours of sleep. How much time do we spend in our life in commuting to our offices and back? 3 hours. Okay, put 3 hours there. How much time do we spend in our life in our routine jobs like having a bath, changing clothes, having my food? How much time do we take? Sorry? 2 hours? Actually, if you really see, you'd spend at least 4 hours. But let me put 3 hours. You just count, because all your meals, your bath and change, and some routine activities, little bit of going and picking up a grocery and this and that, all those routine things, let us call it 4 hours. So please add 4 hours. How much time do you spend at work? How much? 12? Okay. To the best of my knowledge, people who are really doing well in life today spend more than that. But anyway, let's put 12 hours. So how much does that add up to? 19 hours. Actually, another 1 or 2 hours will go into any of these unforeseen things like today's traffic and things like that. Somewhere where you can't do anything and you've lost your time. for no fault of yours. Okay. If you do that, what time are you left to enjoy your life? 3 to 4 hours. So when you go up to God and He asks you, what did you do in life? Did you enjoy yourself? You said, God, there was no time to enjoy. I used to only enjoy on Sundays. Because weekday में तो time ही नहीं था enjoy करने का. So he'll say, okay, next time I'm sending you to this planet Earth as a worm or an ant because you don't deserve to be there if you didn't know how to enjoy yourself. Now out of all this, what can you really enjoy? Can you enjoy your sleep more? Once you're sleeping, can you make your sleep happier? No, I think you're not. Can you make your having a bath, having your food more enjoyable? Very limited scope. Your commuting, very limited scope. What is it that you can really enjoy? Work. So it's only if you enjoy your work will you be able to enjoy your life. So I would like you to focus on to making sure that whatever you love doing, you convert that into your profession. I remember 2 boys, Rohit and Mohit. They used to go and play video games. They were very, very fond of playing video games. And what they would do, they would play as much as they could. And when they would exhaust their money, they would go back to their mother and plead for some more money and take that and play more games. And then they confessed that when it became a little embarrassing to keep going back to the mother who wouldn't give you money indefinitely, then they would go and steal from her purse because the desire to play games was there. Okay. One day they found that there was an ad from a gaming company saying, we are looking for people who can identify bugs in games. They applied for that job and got it. Now both these boys started doing what they were doing by stealing money from their mother's purse. They started playing games the whole day long in a nice air-conditioned environment and started getting paid for it. Then they got so happy about the whole thing that they started doing 3 to 4 hours overtime also and getting more money. They converted their passion into their profession. I have my own son who did that. He was fond of photography and he converted photography into his profession. He never went to college, so he's not a college dropout because he didn't go there. But today as an undergraduate, he's a world-known photographer and he's enjoyed it. Now, how to get to that passion? How to find that calling in your life? That is something that you have to be really worried about. So we don't have much time, but I would like to say, look at yourself, look at your children, whatever, that what is it that excites me? What is it that I love doing? And can I convert that into my profession? Can I use that into what work I do to produce results? Once you do that, once you identify what are your aptitudes, what are you good at, then you will find that there's something that you can do to monetize that and to make it into a financial gain. And to do that, there may be some type of skills that I may require. So you acquire those skills to make it good and then live your life accordingly. Okay, the last thing I'll tell you is that there's a gentleman called Foppe, John Foppe, who is born without arms. And he gives a motivational talk. And he said that your passion must have a mission with it. I didn't understand that in the beginning, but I understood it later. That let's say there's a lady who's very fond of cooking, and cooking is a passion. After some time, when you keep cooking and trying out different dishes, one day that interest may fade away. You may lose interest in it because you've done so much of it. But if this lady had decided that I want to be the best cook in the world, or I want to write 100 new recipes or something like that, you have a goal to it, you have a mission with it, then the passion becomes much, much stronger. Then the passion gets converted into real career forming ability, and you not only enjoy your life, but you have it fulfilling. Okay, thank you very much.